Yep.
Do. Memories feel like go. You know the song that is?
No.
Okay.
You're singing it now.
No, that's a song. It's a new song, so you're out of touch.
I'm at it.
I know you're gonna sing that. Huh?
No.
Dave, here we are, still here.
Episode number?
61.
Your age.
We're becoming dangerously close
To your age.
to your age. 30 months till 70.
Not true, but well, maybe
It is true. What are you talking about? It's true.
30 months to 70. I feel like when you're a baby and they say, how old are you? Oh, 13 months.
13 months, 30 months till 70.
So mean.
Here we are. 61. We're still here. You know, everyone always says, like, I wish I had a relationship that you and your dad would have. And I'm like, if you saw behind the scenes.
Do I have to beat the hell out of you to straighten you up?
I was talking about tough love yesterday, and I wasn't able to get into it. And I was like, this is totally off script already, but I was like, everyone thinks you're the nicer one than the two of us.
I am.
Because I light people up. But the reality is, he was the hardest father, the most strict father, expected the most, but gave the most. Because tough love. Tough love.
I was telling...
I should have named it Tough Love today.
I was telling someone about the holiday parties in the restaurant we own.
Mm-hmm.
And how I let you go at 14.
Play, you pay.
I let you drink and I let you party.
My Zeke Cavarici shirt on.
Right? And I said all the other kids that went blew off school the next day. And I said, you play, you pay.
It was worth it though.
I know, but you
It
paid.
was worth it.
You went to school.
Those waitresses thought I was 18. Remember when I was
Yeah.
graduating junior high? They were like, is he graduating high school? Oh,
But you went to
those are
school.
good times. I did go to school. You're right.
So accountability.
I was a ninth grader with alcohol on the breath the next morning.
Yeah.
CPS. So this kind of works. Like, so tough love. Like we were talking about this. This is kind of what we're going to be giving you right now. Everyone is new year, new me. Right? I'm going to make 2020 my bitch.
And my classes are reflecting that because it's standing room only yesterday. So let's see in June. I hope it's still standing room only.
80% of people give it up by mid-February. So this is
Like
that
the gym.
Yeah. But I like, you know what I like about
See,
it?
I have a lot of style because I didn't go into the gym.
So you just gave up already.
Yeah.
I like when people raise their hand and say, at least they haven't quit. They haven't given up. They still, like, to me it's cliche, not how many times you've given up, it's how many times you get back up. But the fact that every Monday or every first of the month you're like, I'm going to go again, it still shows a willingness to go.
Absolutely, better than quit.
Exactly. So
I walked this morning. Everybody.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Good for you. Sorry to cut you
Called
off.
the old man stroll.
Did you have your FDNY sweater on?
I did.
Of course you did. I got you that sweater.
You did.
So, the mind gives up 1,000 times before your body do. I said before your body do. Before your body does. So here's the thing, like when I did this warrior training, obviously I was also in sports my whole life, but it was very similar to BUDS training in the Navy SEAL. So BUDS training is called Hell Week, and it's all about like seeing if they can break these SEALs in training. And it's when you give up, you ring the bell. So when they hear someone ringing the bell, they give up.
I would never ring the bell.
So as out of shape as I was with 15 other guys. I was more scared than I ever been in my entire life. Like it was just nerve-wracking, you know, blindfolded, the whole nine, and taken to undisclosed locations, borderline waterboarded. And that was the first 3 hours.
You needed that.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing they kept screaming at us was, the mind gives up 1,000 times faster than the body does, because it's so mental. So mental, like, and if you're mentally strong, you could overcome it and get so much more out of your body. So that the rule that's kind of explains it even further is by this guy, David Goggins, who was a military guy. So intense, amazing motivator. I totally recommend checking out his book called Can't Hurt Me. This is one I would listen to the audiobook because he does stories throughout the book in addition to and like little things to do. And one of the things he says is the 40% rule. And the 40% rule is when your mind is telling you that you're done, that you're exhausted, that you cannot possibly go any further, you're only actually 40% done. You're leaving literally 60% on the table. And that's mental toughness, like having a strong mindset, being resilient, right?
When I was in the fire academy training to be a firefighter,
Yep.
we would have platoons and it was 8 weeks in lines, and guys would pull out of the line like, who wants to quit, you know, and I'd be like, no, you know, pushing them back, you know, and the platoon leader would say, Dave, don't do it. Don't make your will go on to the next guy. But I was so strong that my will was so strong to finish that I was trying to keep my buddies from not quitting.
So you couldn't have teed this up better. I wasn't even thinking about this. So they also is very militaristic type training, and there was 5 rules that they got from military training, and one was always be on time. Okay.
Always shut off your phone.
So first one was be here now, right? Which is a great one for you, right?
Right.
Be here now is like be present. Always be on time. Details matter. Don't ever quit. Burn. Don't ever quit. Details, she doesn't remember.
No.
Don't ever quit. And then the fifth one was never leave your buddy behind. They said swim buddy because they were Navy SEAL trainers and they had the boats. So it was, let's say again, be here now, always be on time, details matter, don't ever quit, and never leave your buddy behind. So you had that one. I remember them going, Tino, number 4, don't ever quit, don't ever quit, right? And like, you had to scream it as you're doing like the burpees, and we're doing the planks, and whoever screwed up the planks, everyone had to pay back into the freezing cold water, being dumped back to Invictus. So why are we talking about this? You know why we're talking about this?
Yeah, we're relating it to our real estate careers.
You are very
Even
inspired.
not sleeping much, I got it.
So I did a Facebook Live for Urban Nest, just Urban Nest yesterday, and it was how people are already kind of bailing out and saying, it didn't work. When you say, hey, did you do open houses? They don't work. It didn't work. Did you call your sphere? Did you write your letters? Did you have drop-bys? Are you taking care of your people at the highest level? It didn't work. Are you doing everything that we have seen proven over and over again works if you do it right? I mean, is there anything in real estate, any type of like way to take care of your client or generate leads that if you work hard enough, it doesn't work?
Nope.
Right? I mean, we have
Every
stories.
single thing.
I mean, we have some
But
open
you know
house
the thing
stories,
about
right?
open house story is phenomenal, right?
People do 35 transactions a year committed to open houses and doing quality open houses.
And getting great buyers and sellers out of it.
Exactly.
But I think that the thing is because of our career, there's no boss
Yeah.
and there's no set hours. It takes much more discipline to be a successful realtor than it does to go and have to clock in at 8 a.m. and finish at 5 p.m. Because we have so much more that is ours on our own and self-motivating than we do someone pushing us in the butt.
And that's the catch-22 of the independent contractor game, right? We celebrate and support the fact that that realtors are independent contractors, but there's a cost. The cost is, I would never want to be the realtor that if real estate wasn't, instead of like an independent contractor profession, self-employed, if it was an actual, like, I had to be employed by an employer and my results affected whether or not I was with the company or not, there would be 75% less realtors,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And there would be much less part-timers. And the crazy thing about you is, and we tell this story so many times, but I really want to bring it home. And as much as I break his chops, this is what I grew up watching. So people are like, why are you so motivated? You know, I didn't even have to listen. Sometimes what he said was counterintuitive to what he did. Because this is what he did. In addition to raising me, all the sports I was involved in. My father owned a restaurant with 3 other men. No history of, no experience of opening a restaurant.
12 years.
Was a fireman who commuted to first Corona, Queens, then Manhattan, first
20 years.
for 20 years. And he did real estate.
About 30 hours a week.
And he, by himself, bootstraps up, decided without any formal like investing education, bought 3 rental houses, second mortgages on his house, and kept going and going and going for it. So when people have excuses and saying, I don't have time for this.
Look at me.
Exactly. But you created so much leverage on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, I will not fail.
Hold on.
What was your famous? I said it to somebody yesterday. Do it.
What?
The Scarlet O'Hara.
I don't remember.
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. But what did she
I'll
say?
never be poor
I'll
again.
never be poor
Right?
again.
Is that?
And she grabbed the dirt, yeah.
She grabbed the dirt, right? So you gone with the wind? Nah.
No.
Of course.
Anyone? We're giving you a lot of material to watch. Gone with the Wind. Classic. But the point was, I got divorced.
Yes, go deep.
I had $50,000 in credit card in the early 80s. I had a mortgage because the interest rate was wonderful, 18%. So no one would buy the house.
Yep.
And the credit cards, sorry, it was from his mother. And I had to make that money out to get back on my feet. And say that was 82. The first thing I did was take a pension loan, a home improvement loan, and bought a
Did you really take a pension loan?
I did. I took a pension loan and a
Cojones of steel.
home improvement and bought a rental house. That was my first property.
So we stay with what would Chubby and Missy are my grandparents, his parents.
My mother wrung her hands going, oh my God, you took a pension loan and you're not using it for what you said. You took a home improvement loan and you're going to get caught. I said, Mom, I'm going to pay the money back. And I bought my first rental.
Was that Belmont Avenue?
Bellport Avenue.
Bellport Avenue.
Yep, that was the first one.
Now, I remember us physically ripping out floors and the whole 9, like doing. It was a little shit house. How big was it? Like 1,200 square feet.
1,200, but it was on 1.75 acres.
It was a big lot.
Yeah.
How you rented that thing for what? 20 years? No, 15, 17 years?
Yeah.
So that was number 1. What the second rental came, or did?
Then
Now,
I started.
so before all this, the year I was born in '77, even when you were still married to my mother and you moved to Long Island, that was the first year you got your license that year. How much real estate were you doing back then?
Well,
Because you're at Wayside Realty.
I was working full-time as a firefighter. Your mother didn't want to use the doctor that our medical insurance paid, so I worked Saturday and Sunday, 10 hours a day, as a security guard in a country club.
Wow.
So I was putting in then in about 15 hours, 20 hours in the real estate. So I was
Were
probably
you working
putting
under
in,
anybody then, or was it Bernie just giving a split with Bernie?
it was split with Bernie. I was probably doing 80 hours a week the year you were born.
Okay, so by the time, let's say you bought the first house, I had to be what, 6, 7, 8?
83, 84, yeah.
All right. So you're at that point, you're still not making a ton in real estate,
No.
right? But I remember being there, so you were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened next? The second rental, or you took the shot on the restaurant?
The guys wanted to buy the restaurant, and I said, I will not open in a restaurant because I'm the realtor unless we own the land.
Yeah.
So we bought that building.
Bought the
3
building.
of us.
And the second house was the building next to the,
Then I bought the building next to the restaurant because we needed parking.
yeah,
And then I bought the one on Richmond
which I didn't
Avenue
even remember that one.
as a
You
rental.
moved into that one before you left, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Gotcha. What's the moral of the story here? No excuses, then sold the rest. So here's the irony of life. Before you moved to Las Vegas in '97, you could easily say you've lived a full life. You had thought about even retiring somewhat,
Yeah.
and that was 23 years ago. So that'd make you, 45 years old.
45.
You weren't going to retire at 45.
No, I was going to
42.
do part-time real estate. Remember, everyone was.
God, I'm almost as old as you were when you moved here.
I know you old son of a gun. Just shows you what you could do in the next 23 years.
So, really, 0 to hero, right? And that really we didn't even realize this. It was the first act.
I think that what people have to do, and a lot of youth resent, because I've been speaking to young people, resent. You look at it admirably, and a lot of them say, I'm not doing what you did. I refuse to put my head down and go at it. That's not the life I want. So you have choice.
They want to be a social media superstar.
Everyone has choice.
Yep.
And I'm not saying my way was the right way. I just know I have financial freedom, and I think that's what we should all go for, is financial freedom to do what you love and what you want to do. And if you have to do 10 or 15 years of crazy work to gather that financial freedom, or to pass it on to your children and make a better life for you as a kid, then that's what I do.
You know, it's that grit, right? And I say I'm the generation stuck in the middle. Because where I do agree with the newer generations is you don't have to break your back. You have to have hard, dedicated will. That's what this is talking about. You have to be mentally tough. And the only way you create true mental toughness is jumping in and doing the work. So that's why your group was just
No, I don't think it was my age group, because some of them did nothing.
But
some of them smoked joints and went.
True, that's a good point. But I'm saying is, the past generation felt like, in order to get good results, or you had to do hard work.
Right.
Where the new generations are right is you don't necessarily have to break your back. You can work smarter and not harder. Mm-hmm. But I believe you need to be able to dream of changing the world and doing big things like the newer generations. Because they've seen all these institutions fail and they don't trust them. And I agree with them. Because you guys had blind trust in the institutions. The politics and the churches and the this and the corporations and a lot of those, even sports teams, a lot of those things have crumbled around you. They've been exposed. They were always there, but
I think it's more of an accountability.
Yes.
Remember when you didn't vote and you were giving your opinion about 18 years old and on politics? Remember what I did to you?
To shut up unless you vote.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, unless you vote, unless you're in the game, unless you do that part, you have no right to an opinion. It's a very tough stance. But it got you never to miss election again.
Well, yeah, and then you created your own worst enemy. Because let's fast forward to 2001 when I was a teacher. I got my degree. I knew I didn't want to teach. It's not that I didn't want to teach. I love teaching. It's my passion. But for what teachers get paid, it's robbery.
It is.
It's robbery that you're getting.
Teachers are the most
undervalued
professional.
And it makes perfect sense why we're getting dumber as a nation, because we're not investing and focusing on the education, right? So I was like, I want to do this, but it was the paycheck was $28,000 a year, and I was clearing $900 every 2 weeks.
And I said, what did you say to me?
He said, so even though he took all these chances and worked, he said to me, pension, Dave, health insurance, because he was the fireman. And he said he had that civil service.
And what did you threaten me with?
I didn't. I basically.
Yes, you did. You said.
I said two things. I said I'll never be able to get married and have a family with this paycheck.
That was the threat that got me.
And I said, I've been watching you for my entire life, and the times that you have made risks, took risks, and went for it, are the times that our lives changed the most.
Yes.
So I literally followed what you did, not what you said.
Yeah, we broke a chain.
Beautiful. All right, so the topic on this is, it didn't work. No, you didn't work. You didn't work. So let's go through a couple of these things, right? Because everyone's pumped up, and they're like, what is the new seminar?
And it's January, so you know what?
Yeah.
It can work.
It can work.
It can work.
But you have to be able to take the momentum and focus it. So even though it's just like every other day, if your mind, if the mentality and the mindset is new me, well then follow through. So it isn't the thing you do, it's how you do it. So it's a great saying, right? How you do anything is how you do everything. This is when I say, I've done a post about this in the past, that saying of it's just business when you screw somebody over is pure nonsense.
You bet.
Because if you screw somebody over in business, you're going to screw them over in real life. It isn't,
It's just business should be revert to do the right thing.
Exactly. He's a good dad. But don't do a deal with him because he'll screw you. No, that doesn't work. So now is the time to stop overcomplicating it and stop jumping over all of the steps required to be successful in order to look for the magic pill, right? So we have case studies of every type of agent who has focused, who is ruthlessly committed and has laser-like focused to the simplest things and seen success. There's a guy who did 35 transactions in his first year just by setting up shop with his laptop, Wi-Fi, the hotspot, and literally treated it as his office in open houses all year and converted 35 transactions in his first year.
That's easily attainable.
And how many people are willing to do that?
Well, we're doing business planning, right? We've been doing business planning in January. We give that as a free service to our agents, and I tell them, if they tell me they're doing 2 open houses, I say try 3. Instead of sitting in the open house, give flyers to everyone around the open house. Fresh baked cookies,
You got it.
You must do the work. So if they say, well, Dave, I sat in the open house and this is how they sat, it's not happening. There's a whole program.
And if you decide to do an open house, the day of the open house, it's better than not doing any open houses.
You bet.
But you're probably not going to have as much success
if you planned it.
So this is just going to be an example. We're not going to go through every single one. But if I'm doing an open house, this is what I'm doing. You ready?
Ready.
I'm buying 15 open house signs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having all
With your name and number to brand you.
You got it. I'm having all of Summerlin doing circles, following my face, my name, and my number from every different direction they're getting to this house. Do I care if they get run over? No. Do I care if they get stolen? No. It's free advertising, baby. A billboard costs $5,000 a month. This is blanketed because you're putting a declaration into the ground saying this is my territory and I'm doing an open house. I'm doing flyers and door knocking on every single person in the neighborhood saying, hey, come by and see what your neighbor's house looks like on Saturday. We're going to have some mimosas and some cookies. We're going to be raffling off a $50 gift card to Amazon, whatever it is, and you're creating excitement. I'm going to have music in my open house, whether it's a Bluetooth player or if it's a high-end, someone like this singing for $500 if it's over $1 million. I'm going to have quality food there, and I'm going to invite my friends, my past clients, and the neighbors, and I'm going to get as many people in it. Like, if you do it right, you'll be successful. The open house is going to be on the MLS. It's going to be on Zillow. It's going to be on Realtor.com. I'm setting myself up for success. Mm-hmm. I've been part of an open house with my wife where it was a $3 million listing, and she spent $3,000 on the open house. Mm-hmm. She ended up getting a listing out of it, they ended up buying. So the listing was, I believe, $1.5 million in Quail Ridge, and he bought 1.8. Then she ended up getting a buyer who bought in Eagle Hills, sold downtown, and then bought another one in Eagle Hills. That one open house probably put almost $125,000 in her pocket. And that's on the high end. Even if you play these numbers with the $350,000 house, that's still 40, 50 grand. Like, and everyone, because you're declaring to the world, like, this is the quality of a realtor I am. This is what I'm doing. You take it to the next step. You get videographers and camera people there, so then you can share it on your social media as well. Boom, 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 boom. Is that an open house you want to be a part of?
Yeah.
You bet it, right? But even if you go like this and have cookies and have waters
and information,
it still works.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like I'm dominating the conversation. I'm very pumped up today. I had too much coffee.
It's all right. I'm unpumped, so it's a good.
Keep
time.
going? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about handwritten notes. Now, you can't get more old school than handwritten notes, but somebody outside of real estate framed this to me a couple of weeks ago, and they said, raise your hand in this group if you have a handwritten note somebody has given you. And everyone raised their hand. And they said, all right, how many of you had it for longer than 6 months? Everyone kept their hand. Some people have kept a true handwritten note for 10 or more years. And I've had a couple of those.
The only things I keep are your birthday cards you get.
Because I write you nice birthday cards.
Right.
Now I've been writing them on Facebook, right?
Right.
So people are like, especially if you're doing relationship-based, which you know how we feel about that. It's number one always, the person. But if you're writing a handwritten note, it's a lot different to write, Dear Dad, thank you so much for being my dad. I appreciate you. Love, Dave. Still nice,
Very nice.
right? Your clients, Dear Logan, I appreciate all the work you do for us. You've been a great addition to us. Yours, Dave. Nice. Versus, Dearest Logan, the last 6 months have been an amazing growth period for both of us. Seeing you evolve has been a highlight of my year. Investing in you at the same time, getting you to help me. You're going deeper, and he may keep it for a year. It may be a source of inspiration. If you go deep,
Or you may burn it.
no, but seriously, if you go deep with your people,
No, I agree.
they're going to keep that. And that's why money is sometimes, everyone likes a gift card or cash, but he was talking about this reward system. He says, when you give someone cash, it goes into the whole, their other pile of cash. So it's very hard to distinguish between your money, existing money. Like you forget, like even when we appreciate it so much, gifts from all of our agents for holidays, it can get overwhelming. It's like 10 bottles of wine on there, you know? Yet if you get someone a closing gift of a flat screen TV, every time they look at that flat screen TV, they're going to be like, at that TV from Danny. The sound people say, this is very disturbing for the sound.
Hot coffee. Me
So
ripping it.
there's a level of going deeper.
People say ripping my coffee cup is disturbing.
You see all the sound things? You pick up everything.
Oh.
I'm even trying. I was doing this. I could tell I was doing it.
Oh, no sounds coming in.
But going deeper, it's like stopping at 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you without me giving you the hint? It's a leading question. Do you realize why you were so successful without systems and without scaling when you were doing real estate full time?
Because I never stopped.
What would you say your level of care and knowledge and just basically being available to your clients was? What percentage?
100 and better.
100%.
And better.
100%. You went even further, almost to a detriment, because you didn't systemize and scale enough.
Right.
But if he would have systemized and scaling, we wouldn't be sitting here, right?
We'd be in Bermuda, Bahama, pretty much.
Although, so I'm glad you didn't systemize and scale, because this is what we'd be
Everything happens.
we'd be Frank Napoli. We would be that's it, doing real estate all day. Which, God love you, Frank. Some days I trade places. Just kidding. What? Why are you giving me that look?
Not.
I wouldn't even be on my infinite path, which I am very grateful for. So, the point is this. We're not trying to be aggressive and say to you, hey, it's all you didn't work. But the reality is, it's like when people say, I didn't lose weight, the diet didn't work. Come on.
No one knows that better than us.
We do. It didn't work because at 10 o'clock I was eating strawberry jelly out of the jar because I was dying for sugar. That's why it didn't work. So Here you are, January 15th, you're 2 weeks in, most of you have given up already. Get rid of the resolutions and the pressure of that. It's nonsense. It's progress over perfection. That's where you've always been good. Just focus on moving forward. Progress. We've talked about just getting a little bit better every single time. Mm-hmm. So don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Don't ever quit. Find something and commit fully in all the way. That's all you need. Which, you want to talk about our committee? You want to share with the world our committee and workshops, or you want to leave it just for Urban Nest? I think we should leave it just for Urban Nest.
Yeah, so do I.
I agree.
You share a lot.
I do. I know we give you the blueprint, and we're going to open up a lot to all of you. All right. Golden Knights, Gerard Gallant, tomato, got fired today.
Fired this morning.
And replaced by the enemy's coach.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking about this, and everyone's up in arms on social media. I was listening to the radio.
Yeah, they're all crying.
And I was like, this is what had to happen.
They're on a losing streak.
It's not even a losing streak. You know, people just...
They're dull.
Exactly. They don't think about how a CEO or a management is a business and how you run a team and a company, right? So if you really look at this, they've assembled a ton of talent, they're very highly paid, and they are grossly underperforming. And not underperforming like on just bad luck. Like, I've been to the last 4 games.
Sloppy, though.
It's just, they're uninspired, they're flat. Mm-hmm. So now you have a coach's job is to get the team aligned. A general manager's job is to make sure the right management is in place to get the team. So I could say to you, you're stuck with the players, you could trade them, and maybe some of them will be traded or moved on from. But the general manager has a job to do too. Because the general manager is responsible for the management. So if the general manager doesn't make a move, then the owner can fire the general manager, which may happen too. So there has to be action, and you're not, listen, you're only as good as your performance today, right? Even though he's a great coach, there had to be a change. And what's interesting is, even in baseball, you'll see a coach get thrown out of the game on purpose. And then all of a sudden the team will get fired up. Right. So whereas, yeah, he may have been the sacrificial lamb, but it was time to go. And that's how it works in business. So just pretend that your way of doing business, whether it's buying leads or something, that's your Gerard Gallant. And if it isn't working, it's time to fire your coach. It's time to fire your lead generation system, or I didn't even think of this. Maybe it's time to fire your brokerage, right?
It's what works to make you successful.
Yes, because at the end of the day, the X's and O's, how they run the plays, it's a very small piece of it.
But if you do go, and you do go to a company, you better go to a company that has the training. Because the people we've been hiring have been telling me how their company doesn't really have any training, or you have to pay for the training. So I think it's important, if you're gonna leave or make a change in January, which of course we have a ton of agents coming to us this month, you better check out where you're going.
I hadn't thought about this. We were doing a group text, and it's a great segue into talking about some of our broker changes, right? We did a little bit of broker shuffle. Georgia Papora is now in the Summerlin office. Jennifer Hill is now in the Southwest office. And also, she's helping out with the Green Valley office, which you are as well. And what was the first thing you talked about? Oh, the training. We were talking about our schedule on who's teaching when and what. And when I was thinking about it, and I was writing, did you see when I wrote it out? I was like, wow, we have almost not enough slots in the week to do our training.
I know.
And I was like, this is insane. So one of the reasons why we did the switch, Georgia lives in Summerlin, so it was closer. Jennifer lives in Green Valley. that just made sense from a proximity standpoint. As you know, Georgia is the MLS chair this year, so there's a lot of changes coming out from Remind to Prospects Now, the CRM, to MLS Touch, and then there's existing things like Real Property Watch and Showtime, which we're going to be doubling down using our training room in Summerlin, and Georgia's going to be teaching that not only for urban nest agents first, but we're going to open it up to you guys and the rest of the business. If you can't make it over to the association, or you can't get in, or you just want to be taught directly from the source, George will be here to teach that. Jennifer, makes sense for her to be over there. She's going to be able to spend a lot of time in the Southwest office, be closer to the Green Valley agents, and it just was a very synergistic move for us. But let's talk about our schedule. Our schedule is insane. So 9 a.m. first thing of the week, I'll be doing a coaching call with the entire company where we have agents go on the hot seat and say, here's my issue, here's what I'm doing, and we work through the issue. The beauty of the hot seat is, even though it may not be all the agents on it, all the agents can learn from the one person's issue. So it'll be a coaching call in the morning of every Monday. Then Monday afternoon, we have forms class and a mentee class of brand new agents, and even agents who aren't brand new that want to sit in, how to negotiate, how to navigate the MLS, how to fill out every form, how to use the forms. That's just Monday alone. Everything's on Facebook Live.
I'm already tired.
Tuesday morning, Green Valley, Broker Roundtable. Tuesday afternoon, Summerlin Roundtable with you. Green Valley is with Jennifer at Tuesday morning. Wednesday, obviously, Dave and Dave. Wednesday afternoon, we have a surprise, which we're not going to disclose. We also have CEs on Wednesday afternoon, Lunch and Learns on Wednesday afternoon. Thursday mornings, we have the meeting for Southwest. Thursday, and the mentee again. So if you want to get 2 opportunities to learn, Thursday afternoon's technology, and then Friday's fun. So it is a full. Then on top of that, top producer panels, broker forums, and
Buffini.
Nest Talks coming. What?
Buffini
training. I didn't even think of Buffini training. We have that once a week. Why do we do so much?
Give them every opportunity to succeed. Every opportunity
to come in the office.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've touched all that. All right, let's bring in Amy Julien.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you?
Look at you, all dressed up,
Oh.
thin.
You too.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to say one quick thing. What I thought we'd
Before
start
we're
doing.
not even.
Oh, we're not.
We'll break. We
It's
take
a break.
we
Okay.
take-
So they're on. The Facebook Live is on, but they're just repositioning to get you in the frame. It's a little behind the scenes for the Facebook Live people.
Okay.
And all right, well, it's
1 minute.
you can't hang out for 3 seconds.
Putting the cup down. Model.
All right, go, Amy.
Okay. I just wanted to say that what I thought I would do is I want to say maybe the 13th person that waves at me on Facebook during this show, I will go ahead and give 2 tickets to the downtown Summerlin Theater.
Well, look at that. You better
Okay.
start waving at Amy.
So I want to see some waves out there.
All right.
Nice.
Keep a look on. Okay. Well, good. That was very nice of you. So who are you and where are you from?
Amy Julien with Axia Home Loans. And what I'd like to talk about a little bit today is the no limit VA loans that we've got now.
Please tell us about the no limit VA loans. Even I don't know.
Is that incredible? And we're talking about rates that are 3 1/4.
Explain to me.
I mean, they lifted the ceiling on what it was.
So when you say no limit,
Well, there's a limit. I mean, at Axia we go up to $1.5 million.
so someone could buy a VA house or a house with a VA loan, dollar down, up to 1.5 million.
Right.
That's it.
Yes,
What kind of credit they need for this?
620.
Wow.
That's nothing. I thought that the loan limit was like for something, and then they had.
It was like that before.
And now it's changed. So
Right.
explain the difference.
Well, it was on a sliding scale.
Right. Yeah. Up
So now it's
to
different.
now. it's-
484.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you could go for $1.5 million and put $1 down.
Technically, yes.
Insane.
Whee! And get a 3 1/4 rate. Oh boy.
Can you imagine?
So,
Insane.
December was quiet and.
Not January.
Right. That's it. So what happened with the
I
rates?
can't wait for this.
The rates are very, very low right now. Of course, they're lower on the government loans, the FHA and VA, than they are on conventional. But you're still looking at rates in the threes
So give us, all right, what about,
for 30 years.
what about jumbo refis?
What would you like to know about them?
Let's just say someone at this table has a $635,000 loan at
Okay.
4.5%.
Not me.
Okay.
What would the rate with 810 credit score and a 30% or excuse me a 40%
Debt to income ratio.
loan to value.
Oh, loan to value.
No, my DTI is beautiful, baby.
Okay.
Am I getting in the threes?
High threes.
Hey, still a 0.5% plus.
3 7/8, 4%. I mean, it's going to depend on the day, as you know, it fluctuates.
It's
but
a juice worth the
yes.
squeeze, and you go, wow,
Yes.
that's why it makes sense to do refis.
But it's true. But you also have to weigh whether the cost of doing the refinance is going
I've
to
been in
make
the
up
house
for the difference there.
11 months.
Okay.
So that means I didn't pay off a lot of my loan yet, and I'm not starting the clock over again and
Right.
things like that. So it makes sense. Beautiful. What do you want to ask about the loan limits? And the FHA loan limits are up too as well, right?
Gotta love it. 345.
345, add 3.5% on top of that, brings us around 357. And I said yesterday in my class, for 357 in the Las Vegas Valley, that is an attainable house.
It is.
Decent.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, affordability is our number one issue. You've been fighting me for over a year now on buyer's market, seller's market. What does it look like? How to define it? I have a feeling today we're gonna get a change of heart, maybe a little foreshadowing. But you're saying you're seeing a lot of activity.
Tons of activity.
Tons, me too, in the class.
I know. Everybody
He wants
is
me to get
excited.
into seller's market, that the sellers now have gold.
He said it yesterday before. He said it
And-
off camera. I don't care what he says. He's going to try to BS you. He said it off camera. He said it in front of people. I will bring Georgia
There are
in.
no witnesses. And I think we're heading, if this craziness, because I spoke to an agent yesterday that sold 6 himself in the first 14 days. And I hear the agent saying that they're having multiple bids.
Mhm. They are.
And
I've seen that as well.
right, so I'm just saying right now, if what's happening continues,
Mhm.
we're off running.
We are.
Wonderful.
2020 is going to be a fabulous year.
Right.
Do you remember January of last year?
Vaguely.
I do, because I'm the numbers guy here. We had last year our worst production month in 3 years. And we're a company that every single year we've seen growth as a company.
January was horrible.
It was unbelievable to the point I joke about the insecurity of the mortgage business, the real estate business,
Right.
the title business, all ancillary businesses attached to the housing industry. It was like the sky was falling in January. And February
bad.
was not that great either.
No, it's
Right.
true. It didn't start to pick up until
March.
March or
March.
April.
But
Yeah.
this year seems to be, I mean, all the Review Journal and all the places advertising the lowest rates in the last year are going on now is a great spur
Right.
to get the buyers off the fence. And then our median price is still not up to the highest median price we ever had. So those conditions help for the market to do well.
Right. Yeah, it's a wonderful market right now. And don't put off buying because you may not be able to afford
No, it's perfect.
price.
Yeah.
Now you've got the rates low. It's perfect for anybody to go ahead and
So
purchase.
Amy, what's the number one reason people don't get their loan?
The number one, it would probably be credit.
Credit.
to me.
So NAR asked on a survey what do you think the number one reason?
And what was it?
I did the survey and I happened to pick credit the same as you. I didn't put the hike cost of housing. I didn't put loan to value. I put credit.
How about that to income?
No,
Really?
you can usually work around that.
So
My
there's-
thing with the credit, because I help people with their credit every day, it's more of, it's not so much the collections where I can run it through a simulator and tell them, okay, look, if you put your goal towards you're gonna pay these items off, this is what your score is gonna go to. You can't do that when there's rolling lates. When somebody is 30, 60, 90 days late on a Wells Fargo account within the last 12 months. There's just there's not much you can do.
Got it.
And that's where it's
So
a
if I am a buyer and my credit, needs to be repaired, what do you do? How do you help me?
I analyze everything and then give you a specific list of what needs to happen. Whether it's paying things off, whether it's settling things, whether it's getting me a deletion letter on
Gotcha.
some accounts. There are collection agencies that actually will give deletion letters here locally. And so knowing that and guiding them through that process is what helps.
And what's the minimum credit you could get a loan at?
580,
580.
but we really look for 620.
Got it.
That's impressive. What have you been seeing a lot of new homes? You do a lot of new homes, right?
I do some new homes, but I mainly work with my realtors and do resale.
So I'm gonna do this diplomatically. You know how I know the market's really good? I have decided to spend some time over in Stonebridge. You know what Stonebridge is?
No.
It's just the newest Summerlin.
It's the furthest
Village.
village from here,
Okay.
up towards the mountain.
So let me tell you the good news and the bad news. The good news is these houses up in Stonebridge are gorgeous. They're beautiful. They're finally taking some chances. Pardee is doing a really cool, not for everyone, because I like new and different in character. Some gorgeous up in what's it called? Over the Sandalwood, I believe it's Sandalwood. Beautiful houses, gorgeous. Richmond, always a friend of ours.
Richmond is killing it.
Scott's Pine.
Scotch Pine.
Scott's. Is it
Scott's?
Scott's?
I thought it
Scott?
was
I thought
Scott.
Scott's. I think it's
Whatever,
Scott's.
whatever it is, our agent sold
Scott's.
about 5 of them.
It's already built.
Yeah.
Gorgeous community. Toll Brothers has a nice community up there. They have the community over at Mesa Ridge. Here's bad news. Wow.
The prices.
Wow.
What
said-
are the entry prices over there?
You're talking 880. 880. So and then before you're looking at
That's Mesa Ridge you're talking about.
no. Pardee and
Ooh.
that's before lot premium upgrades.
Henceforth, resale is
in
always
backyard.
the better trade.
Well, the good news is the veterans are able to buy that now.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
They can.
So here's what you're seeing, right? The beauty of new is that you don't have to go through the rehab, which I just went through, right? So a lot of California buyers, I believe, are going in there and saying, "Ooh, $1.2 million? This is like a 3-bedroom, 2,000 square foot house." And then you got the resales where you're getting a ton of value, but a lot of them are ugly,
Right.
right? So you have to put in, but they got bigger backyards, so you got to weigh your options there. The reality is, though, Summerlin has become a luxury neighborhood almost. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I said about the 357. I didn't say in someone.
Yeah.
I just said you could buy that in a very nice neighborhood.
Which plays into my point. You know what they're also saying in all these new home communities? They're selling like hotcakes. So $1 million homes are selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
That means you're trying to convince me to say it's a seller's market.
Amy, this is the part of the show where we get to answer a couple of questions. And we're going to start with the question of, based on the information you have at hand and the work you do on a daily basis, would you say this is a seller's or a buyer's market right now?
I'm trying to nail you to say it's
I
a
know.
seller's market.
You're not breaking a tie. I want your opinion to be uninfluenced by your present company and just to go on what you think. And there is a cop-out, which I will give you,
That I'm Switzerland.
that it could be buyer/seller market.
It is both.
Here we go.
I my own personal opinion that it is.
It is.
It is. for the first time in a long, long time, I see it to where the market's beneficial for both buyers and sellers. It's a healthy market.
Yeah.
I see the appreciation going at a proper rate. I see the rates super low. I see that you can still buy affordable housing even in Summerlin,
Yep.
in Las Vegas. So I don't know. To me, it's a win-win all the way around. Healthy.
I say it's a buyer's market, but changing this month. If it continues.
Sellers market all day, every day. Seller.
Is that a house for sale?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there's good deals to be had if you're smart, have a great realtor, and that understands the market and has your best interest at heart.
And an
Boom.
awesome lender.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who won Amy's wave thing?
Yes. Did anybody?
I don't
wait?
know. You're gonna have to look after
Bernadette's gonna check.
fact. Yes.
Oh.
All right. Parting shots because it's past 10:30.
Parting shots. Right now, for the first 15 days of January, it is smoking hot. You got to be in it to win it. Lowest interest rates in a year. Great pricing. Still have not met the high. Wow, how beautiful is this? If you wait, the prices may start going up when the market's this high.
Yes.
You hesitate, you die. Parting shot.
It's the perfect market. Let's get the buyers in here. Let's get them into new homes, even investment properties.
Yep.
I mean, when you can get some buy
And
an
the
investment
rent-
property
yeah.
and it's in the fours, come on, you guys.
I know, and the rental prices are so high.
They're
that
so high.
You're going to do well.
Yes.
My parting shot is this. When you feel like you have exhausted everything you have and you're done, you've tried everything, nothing's working, and you've given it your all, and you're burnt out, and there's no more left to go, just realize you've only used up 40% of what you're capable of. You still have 60% left, and just knowing that in your brain will let you pick yourself up off the floor and go. So don't give up, never quit. That's what we got for you today.
All right. Thanks.